Hello guys, welcome back to Car Obsession and welcome to another walk around. This week I'm joined by the brand new Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, the latest SUV to come from the Japanese brand. So as always, I'm going to take you around the car, show you a little bit about its specification and give you my initial thoughts before I give you the full review, which will come in a few days' time hopefully. So anyway, before then, let's get cracking. So yes, here we go, the brand new Eclipse Cross. It's called the Eclipse because Mitsubishi has kind of harked back to the Eclipse sports car from yesteryear, and because this car's got more of a coupe sort of styling, that's why it's got Eclipse, and it's called Cross because it's a crossover. So you've got, obviously that's where you get Eclipse Cross from. Now, I must admit, when I first saw photos of this car, I did think it looked pretty good. In the flesh, it's not quite as nice. I don't think this particular colour helps. So this colour is called New Bronze, and when it's clean like it is today, it does look quite classy actually, but I don't think it suits this particular car. Now, if I were to buy this car, I would buy it in diamond red because I think it looks far more appealing. Now, the car here is the 4 model, which is the range topping model, meaning you get 18-inch alloys, as well as a load of other goodies I will talk about in due course. Now, the rear is a little bit controversial. Well, I think it is. It's a very bold look. It's very outlandish. Do I like it? Me personally, no, it's not really my cup of tea. I commend Mitsubishi for trying to do something different because, let's face it, there are simply so many SUVs out there. So what Mitsubishi has done is to try to stand out from the crowd, which is fair enough, but yeah, it's not really my cup of tea. Also, as you would imagine, this going across does hinder rear visibility. It doesn't make it dangerous, but it is a little bit annoying. Now, whilst I'm here, I want to talk about another aspect of this car that, that is a bit of a gripe for me, and that's boot space. Now, if I open up the tailgate, like so, oh, sorry, the car's not unlocked. This car has got keyless entry, but it clearly doesn't work for the boot, which is a little bit disappointing. There we go, car unlocked like so. And lift up the tailgate. So as usual, it's got all my filming crap in there. So it offers 341 litres, which for an SUV of this size is frankly disappointing. However, you can extend it by sliding forward the rear seats. I will come to the rear seats in due course, but if you slide the rear seats forward, you get 448 litres, which is more respectable, but it does mean that rear legroom has to be sacrificed, of course. However, if you need even more space, you can, of course, fold down the rear seats to give you 1,122 litres. So it does get a little bit better, but yeah, the boot space of this car, it's not fantastic. It could be better. Right, close it down like so. Let's step inside. The inside isn't the greatest place to be. Yes, you have got soft touch materials, but they do feel quite rough. Now, to be fair, it does feel durable, so swings and roundabouts. But yeah, although it is soft touch, it feels quite rough and, to be honest, a bit nasty. However, you do get these lovely leather seats as standard, and I must say they are very comfortable, which is quite a swab because this car does have quite a bumpy ride, particularly when you're driving around or at low speeds. So let's step in. I'm going to drag a bit of mud in, which isn't ideal, but never mind. Let me just mind my clip-on mic as well. Oh, right, step in like so, and close the door. So, as I mentioned earlier, this is the range topping model, the 4. You've got 2 other trim levels. You've got 2, which is the base model, and you've got 3, which of course is the mid-range model. The 2 model starts from £21,090, whereas the 4 model starts from £25,240. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I can't remember the 3's price off the top of my head, but I will drop it in as a subtitle. The car I'm sat in is a little bit more expensive because it's got the optional paint. So this car is approaching £26,000, which may seem like a lot of money, but it does come with a lot of kit. So let me start the ignition. There we go. So as standard, you get a 7-inch touchscreen. You even get a 7-inch touchscreen on the base model, which is quite good. Offers a good amount of kit. It does take a bit of time to load up, so you will need to bear with me, guys. The interface of it isn't fantastic. It does look a little bit cheap and a little dated. However, it's not the worst touchscreen I've ever used. So as standard, you get a DAB radio, of course you do, Bluetooth, and you get smartphone connectivity. But interestingly, no satellite navigation. Now, the reason for this is because Mitsubishi has stated, well, you've got smartphone connectivity, therefore buyers will be able to, buyers/drivers will be able to use their smartphone to use maps. So if you've got an iPhone, you can use, well, you can just use Google Maps, can't you? Or you can use Waze, which is, which I can understand. However, let's say, for example, you are an older buyer of this car and you don't have a smartphone. What are you going to do? Now, I know that's a little bit unlikely in this day and age because pretty much everyone's got a smartphone, but there will be people out there that simply don't own one. So I do think that's a little bit of a mistake from Mitsubishi. And for what it's worth, I'm pretty sure you can't add satellite navigation as an optional extra either. So yeah, a bit of an own goal from Mitsubishi. You'll also get dual zone climate control, heated seats, which got the buttons down there, which do look a little bit cheap and a bit nasty, if I'm going to be honest. Interestingly, you also get a Lexus style trackpad, which I think is a little bit pointless really, because it is a touchscreen. It does respond to touch. There we are. I shouldn't have done that. It's probably going to play music now, isn't it? No? Okay, good. So you do have this little trackpad down here, which you can use. And it's not actually responding very well to my touch, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah. I don't really see the need for that, if I'm going to be honest. There may be some buyers that enjoy using this and prefer using this as opposed to the touchscreen. And I will admit, when I'm driving, for my driving position, the touchscreen is a bit of a stretch. I do need to lean forward to get to it. So maybe the Lexus style trackpad is there to combat such an issue. But I would simply rather lean forward a little bit than use that trackpad, because it doesn't really feel as ergonomic as it could be. Now, speaking of ergonomics, let's talk about driving position. Now, there is a good level of adjustment. The steering wheel adjusts for rake and reach. You'll have to bear with me. The lever's quite stiff. Oh, I'll tell you what, the first time I did that, I actually hurt my fingernail because, yeah, it's quite firm. It does need a lot of strength in order to loosen it. So yeah, it adjusts for rake and reach like so. Oh, right, there we are. And my seat is electronically adjustable. However, my driving position isn't perfect. So even though I've got my seat set to its lowest, I've still got a high commanding driving position, which is lovely. However, I find it's a bit difficult to show you here, guys, but I find the steering wheel is still a little bit too low for me. My steering wheel is set to its highest and my seat to its lowest, but I still feel like the steering wheel is a little bit too low. So it's not perfect for me. Now, let's talk about cubby holes. So there's a good amount of storage in here. The door bins are of a good size. Let me grab a bottle of drink so I can pop it in there and show you. There we are. It easily swallows that, and I've got plenty of space left over. Very handy indeed. You've also got 2 cup holders in the middle. And I'll tell you what I like about the design is that you've got the bottles there, and they are kind of in line with the gear lever. So you'd think that whenever you change gear, you're going to hit the bottles. But because this has kind of been lowered down, when you do change gear, you don't really hit the bottles. You know, I am slightly grazing them, but it's not an annoyance, because I hate cars where the cup holders just get in the way of you changing gear. That's just really annoying. You've got a cubby hole down here where, oh, you can't even see it, guys. There we go. You've got a cubby hole down here where you can put a few smaller items. Annoyingly, my smartphone, which is a Samsung Galaxy S9, doesn't fit because it's kind of too big and a bit too long. So yeah, a little bit annoying. Glove box is of decent size, and what I like is that you've got this kind of pouch area here, and you've got a shelf as well. So yeah, pretty practical. And to end with, you've also got this central storage compartment, which also acts as an armrest, which is adjustable. That's not a very good design feature, I won't lie. But yes, if you didn't have a bottle there, let's get rid of that. Obviously, you can bring that forward to make yourself more comfortable. Yeah, in there, you've got a decent amount of space. Got a little tray there as well. It's quite handy. So yes, the inside of the Eclipse Cross is a bit hit and miss. Hit and mix. Oh, hit and mix. Hit and miss. I'm really sorry, guys. I got completely tongue-tied there. Before I forget, you also get a panoramic roof as standard. Very nice, and it opens up like so. It would do if the ignition's on. There we are. And I can enjoy the lovely British autumnal weather. There we are, and close it down like so. And if you want to have this closed up as well, you can do so by doing that, and it comes over. You've also got a switch there, which does the same thing. But it's a lovely sunny day, so let's keep them open. Right, let's jump into the back, so I can show you rear space. Now, I haven't gone through all of the kit because this car has got a lot, but of course I will be more thorough in my full review. Right, let me just turn the ignition off. Is it off? Yeah. Still bonging away. So rear space of this car, like the boot, it's varied. It's a mixed bag. So step in like so. As always, the driver's seat has been set for me. I'm 6'2", so I am of course a tall guy. And as you can see, I've got loads of legroom to step into, which is very impressive. Now, it's worth noting that at present, the rear seats, which can be slid forward or backwards, they are slid all the way back. So obviously, if you wanted to make the boot bigger, as I mentioned earlier, you would need to bring the seats forward. So let's say you wanted to have maximum boot space. If I bring it forward like so, it brings that kind of legroom, which, as you can see, is not very good at all. Granted, I know it's my driver's seat is set for a tall driver, but still, you get my point. This car kind of makes you have to choose between decent legroom or a decent boot size. It kind of holds you at ransom somewhat, which I do find annoying because you should really be able to have your cake and eat it, to speak. But anyway, let me pop this back, slide it all the way back, adjust the seat back like so. Let me step in. Again, just be wary of my clip-on mic. I've just banged my head on the roof lining. That's not very good. Right. Oh, there we go. And let's close the door. And as you can see, I've got a good amount of legroom. I can get my feet underneath the seat in front of me. And yes, I've got quite a bit of space. Now, headroom isn't fantastic if I spin the camera around like so. Hello guys, as you can see, I'm a little bit cramped here. However, these seats also recline as well as slide forwards and backwards. So if you bear with me, there we go. There we go. So I'm reclined, I'm more comfortable, and as you can see, headroom has improved. But yes, rear space will all depend on how you have your boot set up. So obviously, if you're more concerned about boot space, you will need to sacrifice rear legroom. But let me stop banging on about it because I know I've mentioned it a few times. But the back is quite comfortable. Could you fit 3 adults back here? Yes, I think you could. It may be a little bit of a squeeze, if I'm going to be honest, but it shouldn't be too bad. And of course, you've got ISOFIX points as well. So believe it or not, at this moment in time, there's just one engine available for this car. The engine you are looking at is a 1.5 litre turbocharged petrol, which kicks out 163 horsepower with 250 newton meters of torque. It will hit 62 miles per hour in 9.7 seconds and continue to a top speed of 127 miles per hour. Now, this particular engine is mated to front wheel drive and a 6-speed manual gearbox, but you can have it mated to all-wheel drive and a CVT automatic. Now, in regards to running costs, this engine isn't particularly green. So on a combined run of fuel economy, this particular car, because it's got the larger alloys, will give you 40.4 miles to the gallon, and it emits 151 grams per kilometre, which nowadays isn't very green at all. So this means for the first year of VED, you'll be required to cough up £515, which doesn't sound great. However, if you go for the CVT gearbox and all-wheel drive, you will have to cough up a stonking £830. Ouch. Yes. So this engine isn't particularly green. There will be a 2.2 litre diesel coming, but that's yet to arrive. And there we are, guys, the brand new Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions or queries, please drop me a comment in the comment section below. But I think it's about time for me to end. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a massive thumbs up. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click that bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. And if you aren't subscribed, guys, what are you waiting for? Be sure to subscribe for more car obsession.